Welcome to the League of Nerds comic book segment number 12. I'm John Cooney. It's May 2nd, 2012, and we've got a long list of comics that came out today, so let's get to them. From DC Comics, we've got Action Comics number 9, Story of Three Earths. It's written by Grant Morrison, with characters from parallel Earths, including President Superman and a new villain, Super Doom. We've got Batwing number 9, part of the Night of the Owls crossover that is getting a lot of attention. Batwing arrives in Gotham City just in time for the chaos of the Court of Owls is unleashed. We've got Detective Comics number 9, also part of the Night of the Owls story. Batman finding himself trying to save Arkham Asylum Administrator Jeremiah Arkham, and we learn about the secret connection between the Court of Owls and Gotham's Arkham Asylum. We've got Dial H, one of the new books that are replacing some of the canceled titles in the New 52 that I talked about last month. Dial H is a suspense book that talks about what would happen if an everyday man were able to get superpowers. We've got another new title from DC, Earth 2, which introduces us to the heroes of Earth 2, including Alan Scott and Jay Garrick and others. And you may think you know Earth 2, but because this is the New 52, they can change things up on us. We've got GI Combat number 1, another 52 replacement, with this first issue introducing the first chapter of The War That Time Forgot and the first chapter of The Unknown Soldier. We've got Justice League International number 9, with one of the canceled titles, OMAC, making a guest appearance in Justice League International in a crossover that's also going to go into Firestorm number 9 this month. We've got Smallville Season 11 number 1, not part of the New 52, but it is taking a page kind of from the Buffy comics, where they've extended the television series into the comic books by doing seasons of comic books. This is Season 11, picking up where the Smallville storyline ended in the TV series. This was originally introduced as digital comics and now being released as traditional comics. We've got Teen Titans Annual number 1, part of the Culling storyline. Culling really does begin here with the Teen Titans versus the Legion Lost in the Antarctic, and it's going to continue on in the Superboy and Legion Lost and Teen Titan number 9 titles this month. We've got World Finest number 1. I talked about this one also last month when we talked about these 52 replacements, but this is a new ongoing series with Power Girl and Huntress of Earth 2, but on our Earth, and again with Paul Levitt's writing and George Perez and Kevin McGuire tag teaming as alternating artists. From Marvel this week, we've got Amazing Spider-Man 685, Part 4 of the Ends of the Earth storyline, with Dr. Octopus and guest starring Black Widow and Silver Sable. We've got Avengers Academy number 29, which is a tie-in to the Avengers vs. X-Men, with the Utopia and Generation Hope teens coming to the Academy, but are they as prisoners? With guest stars Wolverine, Hawkeye, Hercules, and Captain America. We've got Avengers vs. X-Men number 3, with the Avengers and the X-Men both trying to find Hope, who they believe is going to be the host for the Phoenix, and we've got a showdown between Captain America and Wolverine. We've got Daredevil number 12, with Lawyers in Love, Matt Murdock, making some time for Assistant District Attorney Kristen McDuffie. We've got Defenders number 6, with Iron Fist trying to determine who is trying to kill the immortal weapons and if he can stop them. We've got Exiled number 1, a new book, part of a 5-part story combining New Mutants and Journey into Mystery with Thor and Loki. We've got Invincible Iron Man number 516, where we're going to finally find out the mole inside of Stark Resilient. We've got Marvel, The Avengers Black Widow Strikes, part 1 of a 3-issue series, which is a new Black Widow solo adventure set in the Marvel movie universe, and it bridges the gap between Iron Man 2 and the Avengers movie. We've also got Marvel Avengers, The Avengers Initiative, which is an all-ages prequel to the Avengers movie, with the cast of the Avengers Initiative, Captain America, Iron Man, Thor, Hulk, Black Widow, and Hawkeye. We've got Ultimate Comics Ultimate Spider-Man number 10, The Prowler vs. Spider-Man, which is uncle versus nephew. We've got X Factor 235 again by Peter David, one of my favorites, with a villain who is killing heroes in Seattle, Scattershot, who looks a lot like a couple of members of X Factor. We've got X-Men 28 with the team of Lost Skrulls infiltrating the X-Men, and Pixie is taken hostage. And from Image, we've got a new book, Mind the Gap #1, which is a psychological thriller featuring Elle Peterson, who is attacked on a subway platform and left in a coma, with the only clues to her attacker trapped inside her mind. And finally, from Valiant, this week we've got Exiled Man of War #1. Those of you who are around for the original Valiant comics in the early 90s are probably excited to see this. I know I am. But Exiled Man of War kicks off the new Valiant universe with an oversized issue 1. And they have done an interesting thing with a variant on this, with a QR code on the cover, where you can actually interactively scan the QR code on the comic and get some multimedia voice coming through. It's an interesting concept. I hope it's not the first of a lot of gimmicks, but at least they're thinking outside the box. So that's it for this week. There's a lot of great books. There's many more that I didn't have time to mention. But check with your local comic book shop. See the different books that are out available. Don't forget Free Comic Book Day this Saturday on the 5th. So a lot of opportunity for you to check out new books that way. You can always check out what I'm reading on my comic book Facebook blog, he'sgotissues.com. You can see what I'm reading as I read it and let me know what you think about what you're reading. So until next week, I'm John Cooney, and I've got issues.